Hello, my name is Jill. If this is your first time here, welcome. I teach online belly dance classes, and on my YouTube channel every week I post shorts of myself dancing and then tutorials walking you through the choreography. So this week's lesson is linked above, and it is to a song called Shed a Little Light, and that is my theme for this week. We'll talk a little bit about that after. So let's get into it. So what happens first in that video? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your left hand and you're gonna reach out to the left front corner of the room that you're in. So what you do is you reach with your hand and you take your weight all the way over onto your left leg, and then you come back onto your right foot. You're gonna take your left foot and cross it over your right, engage your core, keep your weight in your heels to keep your balance on a turn like that. And then you land on the other side. And I believe I had one arm up. So like a more beginner way to do it would be reach and turn. You could hold your arms in for balance, or what I did was reach, turn, and then I think I brought it in and then up. You know, it's really for your creativity, but basically land this way with your left arm up and your right arm down. And then when that phrase ends and he says, the singer's lyrics say, "So I can find you," bring your right arm up to meet your left above your head, and then do a nice wrist circle. So wrist circles go like that. So I am drawing, I'm starting with my palms facing down, and I am bringing my fingers towards each other and then out again. In and out. Good. And then you just go all the way around. Good. And I just changed directions with my wrist for a little bit of exercise. This is how they look with your hands pointing down. Generally in this dance, my personal practice is to do wrist circles, or also known as flowers, because it's like picking flowers and offering them. I always do them. I'm drawing like with my right hand. I'm drawing a clockwise circle, with my left fingers are drawing counterclockwise. That's how I go. So like I would call that inward circles versus starting outward circles. So you're gonna do one wrist circle. So you finish from your turn here, you bring your right arm up and do one circle. And he says, "So I can find you." That's what I did. Then you're gonna cross your wrists and bring your arms down in front of you. And as you do that, you're gonna keep your weight on your left and sweep your right. You've seen me do this video before, this move before in other videos, because I really like it. So what I'm doing is, my weight is on my left foot, I'm contracting my abs and letting the weight of my right leg go forward and my right foot point, contract, and then when I release, I let it go back. And I'm drawing a long 8 on the floor with my toes. An 8 that is like parallel to the wall behind me, and very long, a little bit diagonal, obviously. It's not like completely sideways, it's a little bit open. Good. So yeah, the 8 is not parallel to the back wall, it's on an angle. The front of it is at the front left corner of the room, and the back of that figure 8 drawn with the toes is at the back right of the room. So you contract, release, contract, release. You do a couple of those until he finishes that phrase. So it's like, shed a little light, so I can find you. Don't let darkness hide. Then when he says, "You from my face," you're going to step and hit your hip. You're gonna wave your arms as you walk. So you can just do that. You can just point your feet. Step, point, step, point, step, point. I'm staying where I am so that you can see what my feet are doing. So I just cross in front of I cross my right foot in front of my left, and then I point my left foot. I cross my left foot in front of my right and point my right foot. So that's the step we're doing, cross, point, cross, point. You also see me do this one a lot, I really like it. So that's one thing that you can do here. So you finish your sweep, bum, 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 bum. So you can leave your arms by your hips and you can do a few point steps. Another way to do this, to make it a little more complicated, is step, hit your hip, step, hit, step, hit, step, hit. So I'm just doing a little like up, down, a little lift and drop on the leg that's pointed, using my core, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then the last layer, the third thing that I added on there when I did it in the video, was my arms. So I wave my arms as I step. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4. This is all 3 layers together, feet, hips, and arms. You can do 1, 2, or all 3 of them. Up to you. You can always come back to this video and practice. So we do this, come to the front. Then we pull our left foot in, and you do a few little hip sits. So mini hip sits. Hip sit, hip lift it's also called, hip drop. I learned it as being called a hip sit because the emphasis is on the down. So you have to lift your hip to prepare, and then you go down on the 1. So we did 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then of course what I did here was I kept my hands by my hips because the hips aren't doing much, so you want your hands to frame them and keep the attention there. And then what I did was I drew another circle, a vertical circle with my left hip from top to bottom counterclockwise. And then I added little sits. So you can do these sits on the spot. This is what it looks like, a little sit. Small sits. I continued these sits as I drew this vertical circle. What came after that? Gotta sing the song in order to remember it. From my face. Oh yeah, shed a little light, blah blah, do do. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do camels around in a circle, leading with your left foot. So you can bring your left arm up, and you're gonna go camel, 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 camel. Bring your arms to shoulder level and do 1 roll, 2 rolls. Cross your hands in front of your chest and undulate, open. I'm gonna post some separate videos with the links in the comments, doing some tutorials. This was a rather technically complex video today, breaking down some of these movements, reviewing hand undulations, shoulder rolls. Let's walk through the whole thing once before I finish the video, okay? So we go, shed a little light so I can find you, flower. Don't let darkness hide you from my face. Shed a little light so I can find you. I would surely die. Hug yourself for your embrace. That's how that goes. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, my name is Jill. I teach online belly dance classes. I also offer online tarot readings over Zoom and distance Reiki. Same thing, online over Zoom. I am all about women's health and personal development, advocating for self-care. I was a registered nurse for 10 years. I was in community health doing preventative mental health, bonding and attachment type of things, which is what informs the health side of everything I just mentioned about what I do. And my dance experience is that I have been a student and performer in Egyptian style belly dancing since 2011. So welcome to my world. If you would like more of anything, you can sign up for my newsletter. The link is below. I send out these tutorials every week, as well as conversations and talks about different mental health topics and special discounts. So I'm so glad you're here. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day. One more very important thing I forgot. I am offering an online session of belly dance classes. It's going to be 4 weeks. It's happening August 2022. It is going to be on Wednesday afternoons. If you're not available to attend live, you get access to the recordings. It's $72. The link is below.